Democracy is seen as the ideal political system for tilting the balance of power on the side of the people, away from the hands of a few private individuals. Of the people for the people and by the people is how the democratic political system is defined. In essence, what a democratic political system does is destabilize the pillar of political power in society, and in the positive sense of the way. Having elections every few years prevents accumulation and concentration of political power in the hands of a few private individuals. It further ensures the individuals in power prioritize public interest over anything else so that they can remain in power in this unstable system. Accountability becomes natural. Basically, this system prevents the monopolization of political power by making political power itself very fragile. And once again, that's a good thing, because the lesser the strength of political power, more is the strength of the power of the people. However, all of this comes under threat when it is paired with the capitalist economic system. The capitalist economic system, in contrast to the democratic political system, is designed specifically to serve private individuals and owners, aka the capitalists, and is in conflict with the interests of the vast majority of the public. The supporters of capitalism counter this with the argument of the free market, that the market will always remain free and fair through rampant competition. This competition is the thing meant to force the market into serving the public while also driving non-stop innovation. Let me explain how, through two examples. First, how does capitalism serve public interest? Let's say company A provides a certain product for a high price. Other companies B, C and D who are in competition with company A will sell the same product at a lower price to attract more customers. Hence the public will get a better deal for the product. Second, how does capitalism ensure non-stop innovation? Well, let's say if company A is selling a particular product, then company B, C and D will create a superior product to attract more customers. And then other companies would create an even superior product, and so on, ensuring non-stop innovation. In both scenarios, the public is ultimately the one who benefits from the competition, and society as a whole benefits from the seemingly non-stop innovation brought about by this competition. Wealth and economic power will hence change hands continuously by passing on to ever more innovative and deserving groups whose product is superior than the previous one, and so on, destabilizing economic power in the process, and once again, in the positive sense of the way. This is the basic argument for a capitalist economic system and how it will inevitably serve the public through its competition, or more specifically fair competition in a free market. But as attractive as these arguments seem, it is nothing more than a fantasy, as all of it comes crashing down when you remember a very simple fact, that every competition has winners. And in capitalism these winners take shape in the form of monopolies. A monopoly is basically a company that has exclusive possession or control of the supply of or trade in commodity or service in a market. The emergence of monopolies has been becoming more and more apparent over the years. The number of big companies operating in major markets have only decreased over the years. In any given country, the energy market is monopolized by not more than 2 or 3 oil and gas companies. The global search engine market is monopolized by Google, who holds more than 90% of the market. Media companies have been monopolized, utilities have been monopolized, transportation companies have been monopolized, food product companies have been monopolized, and so on. Monopolization has led to the accumulation and, scariest of all, stabilization of economic power in the hands of the few. The term economic power doesn't only refer to wealth accumulation, but also the control over our economy as a whole. As to what products are produced, what products we the people consume, and how much we pay for them. The very justification of capitalism was based on fair competition and innovation, and monopolies kill both of them. There is no competition in a monopolized market, monopolies kill it before it can even take root. And it also kills the non-stop innovation, as certain innovations are good for the public, but a danger to a well-established monopolies business. For example, in the energy sector, oil and gas companies currently have a monopoly. But there are new innovative technologies coming up in the energy market, like solar energy, which are more efficient, cleaner and cheaper for the public. But this poses a direct threat to the oil business. So, what do the oil companies do? They make sure that this innovation never takes foot in society in the first place through the dirtiest of tactics ever possible, facilitated by their immense wealth. So, capitalism, after reaching the point of monopolized markets, does not have a free market and fair competition, does not drive innovation, does not serve the people. Now there is actually a way to fight back against the negatives of capitalism, and that is to fight this economic power with political power. For governments to force companies into fair play, to force them into innovation and force them to serve the public interest. But this is where democracy fails. The democratic system is powerless in keeping capitalism in check, because, as mentioned earlier, democracy destabilizes political power. The destabilization of political power paired with stabilization of economic power has created a system that allows the economic power to influence and control the political power to its highest levels. The amount of wealth the economic powers have hoarded is more than enough to buy representatives at the highest levels of democracy. Once bought, the representatives do not serve the people but the capitalist, against the interests of the people that democracy promised they would serve. They pass laws that openly harm the people while benefiting the capitalist. They use public money not for social benefits but for bailouts for the capitalists, and they even use armies of the nations to go and loot for the capitalists at the expense of the people, of the capitalist, for the capitalist, by the capitalist, is the true nature of the capitalist democratic system. The irony and paradox of the capitalist democratic system is that we mixed a political system that promised freedom and power to the people and an economic system that promised a free market, and ended up creating an unfree society with super powerful and free few and the powerless and unfree many. This has unleashed unfairness on the people whose sufferings only continue to increase while the stomachs of the capitalists continue to bloat. Not despite of, but because of the democratic political system. The democratic system cannot protect the people from capitalism, neither can it protect itself from it. As the years go by, this dystopic nature of capitalist democracies has only continued to become more and more apparent, and its pretense is starting to fade. The true dystopic face of the system is becoming ever more visible, and we must acknowledge its reality, either to cope with it, fight it, or run from it. The choice is ours. But one thing we should never do is ignore it or deny its true nature and pretend that it is anything else than what it is. Because when we do that, we are once again serving the capitalists, like everything else, in a capitalist democratic system.